I tell you what I remember about Todd Deck's run that some of y'all don't remember. When he took off running down that sideline, I could move a little bit back then, and I took off running. And yet it was wet, and I hit a slick spot, and everyone was watching Todd, thank goodness. They didn't see me, and I slipped and fell, and I tell you what, I couldn't hardly breathe when I got up. Oh, man. I tell you, I was going around. It took me about 30 seconds to even catch my breath. I don't think anyone ever saw me. They saw him. But I didn't stay long on that ground. But my feet went up there and go pop, I hit the ground. But I know what, thank goodness it wasn't on film. I had a lot of good memories, a lot of good things. So I think about, a couple of coaches on that staff are not with us. Coach Smith had passed away, and Coach Welch had a wreck and everything. And so, I look at the record that's been read about, what you were doing, how you had some tough years, and I came in. I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know. I thought, well, if a guy go down here and win 2 games, he'll be a hero, and just get back and everything. And I thought, shoot, ain't that where you got to win 7 or 8? They had won in 27. They'd only won 14 games in 8 years. Good Lord, I thought maybe, sure, we can stumble into 2. And so, but I remembered in 2 days. We all remember it was hot. You're out there getting after it and everything, and the defense was over there, and I was watching. And I thought they were just dragging around, loafing, and just struggling. And I remember, and I watched it for about 5 minutes, and I began to get a little upset. Then I watched it, the other guys who were standing over on the sidelines, just jacking around, wasn't paying attention to nothing and everything. And I thought, then that upset me. And so I had all I could stand. And I remember I called timeout, and I blew the whistle, and I said, come here, and I want to talk to you. I said, I remember an guy was fussing at him. I said, no wonder you out here just dogging around, not getting after it. I said, we're not going to have that, and we're just going to. And I was fussing at him and getting on him, and then the other guys over there standing there doing nothing. They didn't even realize they had a teammate who was struggling. And I said, y'all better get your tail in gear, or I'll put you out. I'll run you till you can't walk, and everything. And I remember when that group started cheering them on out there. Guess what happened? They started getting better, and I thought. And that's what, if you're ever going to play, you're going to play when somebody's encouraging you and cheering you on, And so, and 2, as a coach, I used to tell people that we won a lot of games because we simply played hard. And that's a cliche that everyone says. But now there was a difference in, we played hard, we got after it. And I wanted them to get after it. And so I wanted them to get after it in practice. And I wanted to be a, you see this thing that says play like a champion. I mean, when I went to win, we bought some shirts one time and said practice like a champion. Because you're never going to play like a champion until you practice like a champion. And I enjoyed winning. And so I remember, I thought the biggest thing that we had to change here was an attitude. You're either a victim or a conqueror. I don't think the good Lord didn't create us to be victims. He created us to have dominion and to have victory and everything. And so I thought we could do that, but now I wanted you guys to play at that level, and so that took a little encouraging. If it took a little encouraging, then I was going to encourage you, But I remember the first day that you put on pads. Our old practice field, it was next to nothing here. I wanted a good practice field and everything, And I remember we went the first day it rained, and we went over it. We got 2 buses and went over to the old football field over there. I don't know if you remember that. We went over there. And I wanted to see what you would do in some pads. I thought, I can't tell anything in shorts and helmets. That don't tell me a lot. So I would put some pads on, and we went over there, and I wanted to see what they'd do. And I let them go live for about 10 minutes or 15 at the longest. That wasn't long. And I saw enough then, I realized, hey, we're not that bad. You've got some potential. You just need a little encouragement, And so I remember that I felt good about it. And I remember getting on that bus and coming back. And I forgot one of the coaches was driving, but I was standing up at the front of the bus up there, and Donnie Dillard was sitting on the front seat. And old Donnie looked up at me and said, Coach, were you pleased? What'd you think? Were you pleased? And I said, Donnie, we're going to be okay. I said, we're going to be, I remember that. That just sticks with me, Because he was like, I just like, hey, tell me what we saw, you know. And so, but I knew that I thought we had a chance, you know, to be successful. And so we scrimmaged Rising the first game. And I remember the year before, everybody told me that Rising had dominated you before the previous year. The first play of the game, they ran the old wishbone, and they veer released. And Steve Coleman, he comes off the ball, and of course we was always aggressive. You need to let things happen and make them happen. I wanted to make things happen. We didn't want to sit back and look, you know. And so he slanted and hit the darn quarterback, and I mean the fullback and the quarterback in the mesh zone and fumbled the ball, and we got the ball and went there and scored because we were aggressive. And then they had a good running back named Hall, quarterback, you know. And then on the third play, after we scored, they got the ball, and old Bucky and a couple of others hit him and knocked him out of bounds, and he come up limping and run off the sidelines. I knew, and remember after the game, the coach down there, he said, "Coach, we ain't scrimmaging next year." Because we got after him pretty good, but no. And then we played Bryant, and I went to see Bryant play Morton. Went up to Morton to watch them play, and I thought, you know, they had a decent team, but I thought we had some potential. I thought we could play with them. And of course we get the ball, and we don't drive. On the second drive we had the ball, we go down and I done quizzed Allen. He knew what play on 9:42 sweep wide. We scored right down there in the north end zone. Kicked the extra point up 7-0. I remember at halftime we go in, they hadn't dominated anything because Darren was on defense. Remember how Darren would hit a you remember he always make a play. and that was in one of his traits. And so we went in at half, and I thought, them boys, we got them. I remember telling you at halftime, I said, we're going to whoop their tails. You know, they ain't going to score on it. I think they only had 64 yards rushing. And we come out the second half, and we didn't score again. And late in the ball game, we were killing the clock. Crawford made a first down on a slot toss, so we cracked back. And I thought, well, boy, we could run the clock out, and we fumbled about the next play after that. And they got it on about the 30-yard line with about 2 or 3 minutes to go. And they ran a little fullback trap one time, and we stopped that, and then they threw in the end zone one time, and the guy was open, but he didn't get the ball. And so, and on the fourth down, I remember I said, Coach, I can coach you up. I said, blitz a linebacker, an old 24 right there. He come through that line, and about that time the quarterback rolled out, and about that time there was the boat hanging on him, you know. Sacked him for a loss, and the game was, and we just take a knee and win the game. And I'd never seen such excitement, you know, and people were, after the ball game, everybody in the stands were just happy, and we'd won a ball game. And I remember I'd been in Corning for 17 years, and I'm telling you, I like the people in Corning, and we seemed to get along well. But the next week, you know, we had a write-up in the Corning paper, and we had a bigger write-up than Corning did. Corning got beat that night, and we won. But we had a big write-up in the Corning paper, and which you probably never seen, but I still take the Corning paper. But no, it was you know, I look at it, and then we went down to Fordyce and played Fordyce and scored early in the ball game. Dammer scored on a blast play. We were down on about the 1 yard line. He scored, and we kicked the extra point. We up 7-0 to half. Come back the second half, and we scored on a pass where we had a slot where our ends would cross. When they had a free safety and our ends crossed, and old the Babe there rolled out and hit old Edgar Porter for a touchdown, and we up 14-0, and we get the ball back again and score on the little hot pass there on the goal line to Brett Epperson. You remember that? We scored and got a doggone penalty. Someone moved and put it back on the foul, so we're in a little make the trap and hit that thing. See, I remember all that stuff. There ain't much gets by me. I don't know why. The guy up at Piggott, I've been working with him, and he's running my offense, and I've been kind of giving him a little advice and do some stuff. And he told me, he sent me a thing last night. He told me something. Yeah, in 1977, Piggott had to play all their games on the road. They built a new field and didn't run electricity down there for the lights, and so he called them they were the homeless Mohawks that year. They didn't have anything. He said, "How do you remember all that stuff?" He's amazing. You can remember everything, but I can tell you back scores and games and everything because it was important to me. But you know, I love the game and everything. So, but you know, when I look back over that season, you know, after we beat Fordyce and everything, and that, you know, the next week, well, after we beat Bryant, I go back and we beat Bryant. Channel 4 come down here. Y'all remember that out there at practice? And I never seen so many kids were just all excited. You know, there's TV people down there. They never been on TV. I don't guess you know what TV was. Because when you're 0-27, they ain't going to come knocking on your door. You know, you win 14 games. Nobody wants to see somebody like that. But, you know, we beat Bryant. It was the biggest news. Russellville had lost 22 in a row, and Sheridan lost, and both of us won that first night, but we'd lost 27 in a row. And they come down here the next week, and we was on TV, and they was running around out there. I remember at practice and everything, and they wanted to talk to one of my players. So I said, well, let them talk to old Todd Beck. And so you always worry about when you have a player that, you know, you don't want to say anything that would give some motivational. And so I saw that guy over there talking to him. I said, man, I wonder what old Todd's saying. You know, I remember that night when I went home to watch it. It was on news. I went home to see what he had to say. I was impressed. He said, I remember what he told her. He said he just tells us we're just going to win. He just knows that we're going to win. We just believe it. You know, I thought, man, that's pretty good. You know, and so, but you know, it was so much. You know, it was so exciting to see. It's hard to imagine how you suffered, because if I'm not mistaken, when the seniors that went, didn't y'all win one game in junior high? I think won one game, beat Hampton. I think the juniors we had were 5-4. Y'all had 5-4 when you was in the 9th grade, and the sophomores had won one game. So we had 3 classes, you know, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and in junior high they'd won a total of 7 games in 3 years. They were 7 and probably 22 because you play by. Of 7 and 20, so they had anything changed, but you know, but then we won 7 games, or you won 7 games, because I didn't ever step on the field. I was just over there encouraging you on the sidelines. But you know, you won those games, and it was amazing to me. You know, when we beat North Pulaski 18-15. I think Scott Herring returned a punt and had it called back on the cliff, and we win that game. And then we played Lakeside, and you know, someone mentioned, you know. They down there, we up 13-7, and they about to score late in the ball game. They score kick extra point, we're beat. Man, maybe been 12-7, I think. And so I think it was 12-7. And so, and then they hit him in the backfield. He fumbles on. Scott picks it up and runs about 90 yards for a touchdown, and scores. And we up winning the game 18-7 or something like that. And so, but, you know, and then we go over and beat Lake Hamilton, and they ran about 60 plays, and we only ran about 30. We scored the first play. I didn't quiz Crawford. He remembered the halfback pass. We went into one set, flipped him over, and had Porter on the weak side, and he fumbled. I mean, he tripped and fell wide open, and we scored. And late in the ball game, they're driving down there because they had a pretty good football team. And they're driving down there, and they were running unbalanced stuff. And I remember, and we didn't shift down. And I remember I was upset, and I called finally timeout, and boy, I said, Coach Up, I'm going out there.
That's the only time you ever did that.
I know, the only time we went on, but I thought, man, I was upset. I thought, y'all get out of y'all got to recognize that stuff, you know. And so they ended up scoring, but we stopped them on a 2-point play and everything. And so I don't know. When I look back over all those games, and you know the Whitehall game where they scored at the end of the game to beat us, and we come back and played Malvern next week, and Malvern was Sheridan's big game. I mean, big game. And they had Traylor, and Traylor was number 99, 6'5", 225, running a 4.640. He looked like a man out there. I mean, a killer out there. And I remember one time he got after little Scott. We went to the wing. We put the guy on the wing and kind of blocked down and run the sweep wide. And I looked up, and there come 99 after little Scott Harris. And I thought, oh Lord, Scott, get down on the ground, boy. He's gonna kill you. And so we ended up with them. But now I don't know if you remember. The second half, do you know how many plays that Malvern run the second half? 6. We kept the ball. They never got the ball. They ran 6 offensive plays and 2 punts. That's what they had for the second half. We just kept the ball, you know, and making 2-3-4, 2-3-4, you know, and we just kept the ball. And they ran. I remember Coach Alpy, after he called me next week, he said, you know, y'all won't ever let us have the ball. They ran 8 plays this whole second half. They never touched the ball. You wouldn't give it up, because one time we had to punt and they fumbled on the down there, and we got it and scored. And we had to get on points, and so we needed the points. So I went for 2 every time. And then we go up to play J.A. Fair. You remember what happened when we went out to toss of the coin? Lightning struck the lightning struck the press box. It didn't get